Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to this video and welcome to my channel if you are new. Today I'm going to talk about my Panerai collection. So you can see here 4 Panerais. I'll go through them one by one and also do like a little bit of a comparison from an ownership perspective. And at the very end of the video I will let you know what are the Panerai watches currently on my wish list and which one will be first to come next, most likely. So that will be for the end, as Panerai is a watch brand where you can really collect watches and not just own them. So that's what I really like. All right, so you can see here 4 different models. Let me see how I best position them. Let's start with these 2. So my very first Panerai ever, almost 10 years ago, I think it's about 9 years ago, 10 years ago, I bought this watch. This one is the PAM 104, or also PAM 00104. This one is a submersible. So this, just to go through them one by one, this is 44 millimeters automatic. This is 42 millimeters, also automatic. It's a submersible. It's my newest edition. Only a few months ago I made an unboxing and kind of first impressions of this watch. Absolutely love it. The bezel issue I'll talk about a little later. I also talked about it in my video of the unboxing. Then we have here the Radiomir. This is the 992, so the PAM 00992. And then we have one of, I think one of the best Panerai still nowadays, of the modern era at least, the PAM 233. So that's it. The full name is PAM 00233. And this I got, I think, almost 3 years ago. Absolutely amazing. Still love it. It's quite thick, but it wears because of the case very, very well. And this is the very first time I have 4 Panerais in the collection of all the different collections basically from Panerai. So I have had in the past, I think it was a few years ago, where I had, I think, 5 or 6 Panerai at the same time. In total, I've had probably 15 different models. But right now, these are my 4 and I really love them. So I don't plan to sell any one of them. But here on the left side, this is the Bettarini case of what they call it. So this case is a little bit thicker. You can see here, it's not so curved. So you see this one has been worn quite well by myself. Also during swimming, sport activities, etc. This one I beat it up a little bit, but it still looks great, I think, and I really enjoy wearing it still. So this is a very different case than the 1950 case, which you can see here. You can see here, this is just a bit more refined, a bit more curved. And even though you can see it here very well, even though this watch on the right is quite a lot thicker, I think it's about 18 centimeters, millimeters, sorry, of course, it doesn't look thicker because the way the case is designed. So it doesn't wear really bigger than a 15.5 millimeter thick. This one is 15.5 millimeter thick. It's still the older generation of the, I would say mid 2000s till 2009, 2010. They started this model, I think, somewhere around 2010 or 12 and ended it somewhere around 2017, 18. And then they came with a new model. This is a Luminor. This is also a Luminor. So if you are familiar with Panerai, you know this, but if you're not, then it's not really a given. This is the normal case of the Luminor, and this is the 1950 case, they call this. And this specific model is quite special. This one is just a date and seconds hand, and that's more or less it. And you can see here, hold on. You can see here there's a seconds hand moving, and there is a AM PM. So this is a 24-hour GMT, and an 8 days power reserve. A fun fact, how long does it take to wind these 8 days? So this is not an automatic one, this is a winding watch where I need to open this and then wind it, and you can see now that it's increasing the 8 days. Yeah, and it takes more or less 2 minutes to fully wind, but I enjoy it. I mean, you do it once every 8 days at most, and then it's full. This is an open case back. I put the watches, you can see it's really nice. Wow, it's nothing special, to be honest, but I think it's nice to look at an open case back. I quite enjoy that. And you can see this strap I put on it. It's an official Panerai strap with this symbol of Panerai. I really like it. Quickly put it on the wrist so you can see how it looks and wears. So I put all of the watches on kind of a different style strap, so that they really are not only in a different case but also very different. The way they look with a different strap. And you can see here my wrist circumference is 18.5 centimeters, and this is a big watch, 44 millimeter, 18.5 more or less millimeter thick, but I don't think it looks out of proportion. Yes, it's big, but Panerai I think is supposed to be big. It's probably one of my most worn Panerais, this one, but generally from all the watches I have, and if you see my channel, you see I have a lot of different watches from different brands, but I think Panerai is the watch I wear the most. Yeah, they're just very enjoyable, and if people don't know watches, they don't know Panerai. But if people know a little bit about watches, then they know Panerai, and they will talk to you about it, but not in a negative way, but in a positive way. Hey, you got a Panerai? I also got one. I'm not wearing it today, but I got it. So I really like the stories that happen if you talk about the watches. So yeah, then here you can see a very different strap again, but also kind of a vintage style strap from Panerai. So I only buy them straight from Panerai. You can see here. And this, I think it looks amazing. Yeah, it looks really. Now in this light, it's difficult to show. You can see the hands, so the hour hand, the minute hand, and the seconds hand, and they are a little bit blue. But this is only in straight daylight. Now you saw a little shimmer, you can see. But yeah, unfortunately, it's difficult in artificial light to show this. This watch in real life outside looks a lot better than it does now in this video, in my opinion. Here it looks a little bit pale, a little bit maybe boring, but it really pops more on the wrist. And if you're doing a wrist roll, checking out the time, you can see how the blue hands come and they look at you. So that's really cool. Here you can also see it's 8 days power reserve. It also has an open case back. Nothing special here, but I just like looking at it. And this is a Radiomir, as you can see from the name. So very cushioned case. This is 45 millimeters compared to the 44, but it doesn't look bigger, in my opinion. It looks even a little bit, slimmer. And the reason is that the lugs, you can see here the lugs, they are very different than these lugs. Yeah, this just makes the watch look a lot bigger. I like the crown. There's a very nice feel about it. It extends quite far, as you can see here. And now I can hear this. I don't know if you can hear it in the video, probably not, but I can hear the winding quite loud, even though the watch is now quite far away from my head. And the problem is you don't see when the 8 days are full. You notice it when you can't screw further. It becomes blocked, and if you go beyond that, you break it. But yeah, beautiful watch. It's a little bit more complicated to change the straps, as you have a very small screwdriver you need to use here. Then take this out. It takes quite a bit, and you need to be careful that you don't scratch the watch. With the Radiomirs, and also submersible. It's easy. There's a button here. You press on it with a tool, and then press from the other side or from this side, I think, and then it goes out and you change the strap. And I do this, I would say, on a weekly basis. Probably I change the strap of my watches. But these two straps are my newest, and I have the same one in the different size. So here it's 24 millimeters, and here it's 26 millimeters. And I have this same strap in 24 millimeters and this same strap also in 26. And it completely changes the look of the watch and everything. So it's really cool. And these are, yeah, for me, they have something special. This because of the 8 days, because of the GMT and the looks. I just really like it. And it was the very first movement Panerai ever made in-house. Almost probably 20 years ago. I think 2002, and that's when this watch was released. They produced this quite a long time, and then somehow, very quietly, somewhere 2017, 2018, 2019, they stopped producing it, and it was gone from the catalog. And they have not made this watch again. So they have done a new 10 days, which is now called 10 giorni. And I don't like the writing from GMT to 10 giorni. It's a lot bigger here. I think it's nice. They put the GMT there and put the 8 days there. It just works. And with the new models, they have 10 and then giorni next to it, similar like this, but not as a circle, but straight. So yeah, I think Panerai, they have so many small differences each watch, and that's what makes this brand great. And that's why I keep buying these watches. I always, after a few years, also change a watch, probably from Panerai. I sell it, so I love it, and then 2 years later I have worn it so much, and just there is another Panerai that is similar, but I like a little bit better. That's when I sell it. I don't do that with for example, Rolex. Just as an example, then I really keep the watch because I know, first of all, hard to get, but second of all, I like the model how it is. And I like the improvement, so I would like both models, the older one and the newer one. But yeah, that's Panerai collecting. I'll go quickly to the two other ones. I talked a lot about these ones now. So this is my newest one that I said. I got it a few months ago. And now I have it on this black strap with blue stitching. I think it looks really cool together with the dial, because there are several blue elements on the dial. As you can see, the second hand, the submersible writing, and the depth, 300 meters, 1,000 feet. And what I showed in my review is that the bezel, you can see here, was moving quite a bit. It's not moving so much anymore, you can see. I'm really pulling and moving around, and the watch is moving, not just the bezel. And at the beginning, the bezel was really moving around. But I knew that this model had that issue. The 42 millimeter submersibles have that problem sometimes. Most of the models I've had in my hand, and I tried this, they had it. But this, after wearing it a few months, is now quite stable. Very good. There's no open case back here, but 300 meters depth. So that's okay to not have a see-through. And here you can see the strap, and I think it looks cool. I think it would look better if this wouldn't come here and it would just go straight down and we wouldn't have anything here, but that's the way they made it. Also, it's from Panerai. You can see it here probably. So this is a 42 millimeter, just to show it to you, next to a 44 millimeter, and let's try to put it also next to a 45 millimeter. There is quite a difference. Even though it has a bezel, it still looks slimmer, and a bezel always, I think, makes a watch look bigger, more bulky. And let me quickly put it on my wrist so that you also see the difference. So this just wears a little bit slimmer, a little bit better. I've worn this a lot in the summer, but also now I like to wear it. You can see here. Still a big watch, yeah, but it just fits a little bit better on the wrist. I'm not sure about the thickness. I think it's 13.5 millimeters. And it just wears really well. I really like it. But I would only wear 42 millimeters with the submersible range. I tried a 42 millimeter Luminor, but it just didn't look well, in my opinion. Yeah, it's very taste based, but in my opinion, if I wear a Panerai Luminor, I want to wear it in 44. The same with the Radiomir. They used to have always 47 millimeters, which was just too big for my wrist at least. And that's why I'm very happy that they have the 45 millimeter. It's a perfect size. It would be even better if they make it also a 44, I think, or a 43. That would be really cool, but I don't think they will do that. So, and here you see, this is probably the biggest one. It's also the oldest watch I have, so it's quite thick, 15.5 millimeters. Comparing it to the 18, let me try to put it next so you can see it. It's not so easy without scratching them. Here we go. So now you see on the wrist, you can see the 18.5 is bigger, but it's just better designed, yeah, in my opinion. So yeah, talked about it quite a bit now about Panerai and about these watches. And it's the first time, as I said, I have a Luminor, I have a Luminor 1950, I have a Submersible and a Radiomir. And now the question is, what's happening next? Let me see. No, this doesn't work. How do I progress this collection? And what is my next watch? So I have a more or less back order at my ID who's been patiently keeping a certain watch that I ordered. And that is, if you've seen some of my older videos, that is the Panerai PAM 01312. So that watch has been on my list since several years. There's always been something else coming up and I grab another Panerai or another brand itself. Then I was debating the 1312 before I got this. And this is quite a bit more expensive, you must say, than the Luminor. Because of the ceramic here inlay and the depth probably. So, sorry about the camera. What I have done is also considered to buy another one, and that's the very new, kind of a re-edition, PAM 05218, or the Paneristi version, the PAM 02025. Now, I'm not sure about those two because they're very vintagey, and this is already kind of my vintage Panerai. So I'm not sure if I'll end up buying them or not, but I've also kind of ordered them to see at my ID. I'll go into that story if you like it a bit more, but I think the video is long enough. I did have the chance, just for a side story, I did have the chance of buying the PAM 05218, which is this black DLC coated steel, I think. It looks really cool. It's this new kind of re-edition of the 5218 of the 1993 with a local boutique. But the price point was back then communicated 8,900 euros. So I'm based in Europe. And now it's actually then the official price became 8,500. So they changed the price, which is interesting. When they released it a year ago, like from the press releases, they said it would cost 8,900. They showed it in a Paneristi day somewhere, and the price was 8,900. If you research Google, you will find pictures, and now it's going for 8,500. So that's okay, but it's still too much for me, as Panerai really loses a lot of value. Also special editions, so it's really you burn cash there. At least 30-40% of the retail price you will lose if you resell, if you keep it in good condition. If you have it in a very bad condition, like for example this one, that you lose 50-60% of what you pay your retail. And if you keep it in a good condition like these, you will lose 35-40%. And that's why I didn't buy it at the boutique. Even though they're really nice, really cool people, but I mean, price, I can get it at a lot better price from an AD. So I will wait a little bit, and that excites me. and I hope when I see the watch that I really like it and buy it. So keep posted. The next few months I expect some additions in Panerai, and there's one or two other brands I'm waiting on a watch. But yeah, let me know what you think and which one you would get, the 1312, the 5218, or the 2025. And don't think about price or about resale or about collectibles, or just about the looks and what you think would fit my collection the best, as you've seen it now. Yeah, I really look forward to the comments and to exchange with you and to share with you a video as soon as I have one of those 3 watches next. So thanks a lot. Give me a like if you liked it, and do subscribe, as I'm only talking about watches. And if you enjoyed this video, you will most likely enjoy my other videos and my future ones too. So thanks a lot. Bye bye.